Hey gang, it's LeBeau, and I'm here today to talk about the news that Zack Snyder is finally going to get to release his director's cut of the movie Justice League. It was announced this week, and it's scheduled to debut sometime next year in 2021 on Warner Brothers' new streaming platform, HBO Max. According to the announcement, the finished project could be up to 4 hours long, and it may be presented as a TV show, broken up into as many as 6 episodes. Snyder has been given a budget of between $20 and $30 million for post-production work, which will include finishing visual effects and having dialogue redubbed by the original cast. This move is really unprecedented. There have been director's cuts of movies before, but nothing on this scale. Part of what makes the Justice League situation unique is that Snyder was replaced as director on the theatrical cut by Joss Whedon. This whole situation seems just a little bit unfair to Whedon, who probably wouldn't want to claim the original movie as his own.
Ride ain't over yet.
My man!
Director's cuts of movies are nothing new. More often than not, they don't actually improve on the original movie in any meaningful way, although there are exceptions. Zack Snyder previously released a director's cut of Batman v Superman, which helps to explain some of the subplots and supporting characters that were largely cut from the theatrical version of the movie. It's longer, which can be too much of a bad thing depending on your point of view.
Find him! Save Martha!
Zack Snyder's DC movies have been divisive, going all the way back to Man of Steel in 2013. I am personally not a fan, but that's a topic for another day. The original plan was for Snyder to build toward a team-up movie, which was Justice League, but after the cool critical reception that Batman v Superman received, Warner Brothers got cold feet. In January of 2017, Snyder showed the studio heads a 4-hour cut of Justice League. They told him they wanted something more like the traditional 2-hour runtime, so he delivered a version that was 2 hours and 20 minutes. Everyone who saw it reportedly agreed that the new version was very rough. The exact order of events here has never really been made clear. Snyder ultimately left the movie to deal with a personal tragedy. Joss Whedon was hired to complete Justice League, and there were reshoots. Rumors have persisted that Snyder did not leave the movie voluntarily. It has been said that Warner Brothers disliked Snyder's 2.5-hour cut so much that they panicked and replaced him with Whedon. However, the official version of the story is that Snyder left of his own accord. The theatrical release of Justice League was a Frankenstein's monster of a movie, stitched together from parts of Zack Snyder's footage and Joss Whedon's reshoots. The two visions for the movie were so different, they created a tonal whiplash for the audience. The visual effects were rushed to the point where the bad guy, Steppenwolf, looked just embarrassing. And to make matters worse, Henry Cavill couldn't shave his mustache for reshoots, and it had to be digitally removed, which was very noticeable.
Well, I believe in truth. But I'm also a big fan of justice.
All right.
Critics generally liked Justice League more than they did Batman v Superman, but that wasn't a high bar to cross. Audiences, for whatever reason, didn't turn out, and the movie flopped. Which is incredible when you think about it. A team-up movie featuring Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman is pretty close to a sure thing, but ticket buyers didn't bite. That may have had something to do with the movie's marketing, which downplayed the presence of Cavill as Superman. It's also possible that after Batman v Superman, audiences were largely checked out of Snyder's take on the DCEU. I know, speaking for myself, that I was.
Save Martha! My man!
But some people really liked Snyder's take on Batman and Superman. I don't understand this myself, but their passion is undeniable. For the last 2 years, his fans have organized to pressure Warner Brothers into releasing the Snyder Cut. Initially, the idea seemed ludicrous. Why would Warner Brothers invest millions of dollars into an alternate version of a movie that bombed at the box office? Just from a business perspective, it wouldn't make any sense. But things have changed. These days, it's all about streaming platforms. Warner Brothers already has several existing services, including DC Universe, which creates exclusive original TV shows featuring characters from DC Comics. Or at least they did. Since the streaming service launched, the focus has shifted from streaming movies and TV shows into DC's digital comic book collection. For example, the new show Stargirl recently debuted on DC Universe, and then the next day, it aired on the CW network. One of the service's best shows is Doom Patrol, and it will also be available to subscribers of HBO Max. The DCEU movies are only on HBO and not offered in DC Universe. And of course, HBO recently adapted Watchmen into a TV show, which is not available on DC Universe. Warner Brothers is still figuring out their business model, but it seems obvious that HBO and HBO Max have taken the focus away from services like DC Universe. They're developing a Green Lantern show specifically for HBO Max. In order for HBO Max to be competitive, it's going to need content. Snyder's cut of the Justice League wouldn't have made sense for a theatrical release, or maybe even for home video, but repurposing a failed movie as a limited series for a streaming service seems pretty low risk. Even if Warner Brothers dumps $30 million into the Snyder Cut, that's still a lot less than Amazon paid for its Lord of the Rings show. So how do we feel about this development? I personally have mixed feelings. I really disliked Snyder's take on these characters. To me, he misunderstands Superman at a fundamental level. Having said that, I am mostly happy for the fans who will finally get to see their preferred version of the movie. But I'm only mostly happy. See, I don't want to generalize, but Snyder's fans haven't always exhibited the best behavior. Some of them have been loud and even obnoxious with their unreasonable demands to be catered to. The fact that they are now getting their way can only be seen as vindication by some people who didn't necessarily need to be vindicated. You can already see this spilling over into other fandoms. Someone who tweeted for Disney to release the J.J. Abrams cut of Rise of Skywalker can't help but see the Snyder Cut as encouragement. For 2 years, Warner Brothers denied the existence of the Snyder Cut, and now it's been announced. Do you think Star Wars fans are more likely to take no for an answer? My personal lack of enthusiasm is largely due to the fact that I dislike Snyder's take on the DC characters. I appreciate that he helped make Wonder Woman possible, but I am ready for him to move on and start making zombie movies for Netflix now, thanks. I see no reason to think that I will enjoy Snyder's extra long, extra edgy version of Justice League any more than I liked either of his previous movies, but that's fine. Figure this is mostly harmless, right? Hopefully the people who have been waiting for this to happen are going to be completely satisfied. So what do you think of Warner Brothers' decision to finally release the Snyder Cut on HBO Max? Are you excited? Do you think this will encourage other fans to make unreasonable demands? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And until next time, this is LeBeau. Thanks for watching.